Friends, how are you facing the challenges that are in your life right now? Dr. Richard Dresselhaus said he recommends facing challenges head on. That's often the best way, he says. A ship in a storm must point the bow into the wind, and a plane on takeoff must be sure it takes off against the wind. And the same is true in life. It's best to face problems head on. But friends, wouldn't you agree when facing problems that it is encouraging when we have help from others along the way? I would advocate that the assurance of a loving, caring presence in our lives is so important throughout our lives, especially during the tough stuff of life. Let me illustrate with a story. The story goes that heart surgery was scheduled the next day for Tom, and with most surgeries, Tom could feel the anxiety rising. He knew that his life would be in the hands of the doctors. The day before surgery, a nurse came into the room to talk with him about the operation. And as she did, she took hold of his hand and she held it. Tom had no objections to this gesture as it brought a sense of reassurance. "Now, Tom," the nurse said, "during surgery tomorrow, you will be disconnected from your heart, and you will be kept alive only by virtue of certain machines. And when your heart is finally restored and the operation is over and you are reconnected, you will eventually awaken in a special recovery room. But you will be immobile for some time, possibly a number of hours or so. You may be unable to move or speak or even open your eyes, but most likely you will be conscious and be able to hear and know certain things going on around you." And then the nurse said, "But here's what I want you to know, Tom. During these hours of recovery, I will be at your side, and I will come and hold your hand exactly as I'm doing right now. And I will stay with you until you're fully recovered. Although you may feel absolutely helpless, when you sense me holding your hand, you will know that you're going to be okay." The next day, the surgery went exactly as the nurse had told him. And when Tom woke, he could do nothing. But before he panicked, he felt the nurse holding his hand, and he later said that made all the difference. Friends, it does make all the difference when someone comes alongside us and helps us when we are in need. Mr. Rogers' famous words are ringing true for many these days when he said, "When I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, 'Look for the helpers.' You will always find people who are helping." Yes, there are many who are coming alongside others, helping and serving heroically in our country right now during the present COVID-19 crisis. I think of our military personnel still hard at work during risk balance operations. And I think of my mother, who's been a nurse for 39 years, presently at the forefront at her hospital, caring for patients. A recent Twitter post says it well. "Thank you, doctors, nurses, truck drivers, first responders, farmers, grocery store employees, warehouse operators, and sanitation workers all across America who are on the front lines and stepping up to keep our communities safe." And to that I concur and say amen. I also say amen during this time of year to the many who are and will be finding help and hope from their faith traditions, as they strive to find creative ways to celebrate and observe Easter and Passover. Just as Tom found help, peace, and reassurance from the nurse being by his side and holding his hand, so too may you find the help, strength, and comfort you need from your faith during these challenging days. Friends, we're all in this together, and most certainly I'm thankful for the helpers in my life today, and I trust you are too. Keep giving it your best. Remember that life is seasonal, and as someone said, no matter how you feel, get up, dress up, show up, and never give up.